Welcome to the Jaguar Podcast, a show where we discuss all things related to Duval County's finest NFL football team, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Move 42, set, play.
Duval, baby! Hey, everybody, it's Andrew, and welcome to episode 90 of the Jaguar Podcast. In this episode, we're going to be discussing, amidst all the rumors, should the Jacksonville Jaguars actually trade running back Leonard Fournette? So let's jump into it. To start off with, though, I just want to give a quick kudos and shout out to all of our healthcare workers, nurses, doctors, policemen and firefighters, servicemen and women. Huge thank you. Really appreciate all your work during this coronavirus crisis, keeping us safe, helping all the patients and helping everybody get through this. Really appreciate it, and stay safe. So let's jump into the discussion. Leonard Fournette, there's been a lot of rumors out on social media regarding, him going out on the trade market, the Jacksonville Jaguars organization considering a trade for Leonard Fournette. It's really an unfortunate type of situation. In full disclosure, I'm a huge Leonard Fournette fan. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great running back. Reminds me a lot of, the Fred Taylor days. He's a power back. It's just, I just don't understand what's going on inside of this organization. I said it, in the previous episode where I discussed whether we should trade, whether we should draft a running back. And it's just, it's a complete show. I don't understand what's going on inside this organization. I mean, it really begs the question, Shad Khan has said, publicly that we want to win now, but looking at all the moves in the offseason by, general manager Dave Caldwell, it looks like he's rebuilding this team. He's, gotten rid of a lot of the original 2017 lineup that got us to the AFC Championship, like Calais Campbell, AJ Boye, Jalen Ramsey, Yannick Ngakoue. He may be traded soon. I think it's very likely. I'm trying to figure out whether we just want to tank and rebuild, or do we want to win this season? I just can't figure it out. I don't know really what's going on, because we need to figure something out, because we have a very tough schedule next year, or for this season rather. And, do we want to tank or do we want to win now? And that's really the big question. And if we trade Leonard Fournette, we're going to leave a huge hole in our offense. And, I'm going to be honest, I like Gardner Minshew.
Just heart and balls, man. Heart and balls.
But I don't think he's a Patrick Mahomes. He's not a guy that's going to win games on his own. He's got a lot of, ability, and he's a very clutch player, but I don't think he's going to be able to win games for us alone. And you got to have a guy like Leonard Fournette that's going to take some of the pressure off of Gardner Minshew in these games, and that can pound the football and tire out the defense. Again, this is a running back that you're going to have to give him at least 20 carries a game. At least 20 carries a game. And get him kind of ramped up in order to have him effective. And when you look at last season with our offensive coordinator, John DeFilippo is historically known, and everybody knows this, that he does not like to run the ball. He's a passing offensive coordinator. He likes to throw the ball. He does not like to run the ball. And you could see it. Just watch the film. I mean, he had Leonard Fournette line up as a wide receiver multiple plays I saw when I'm watching the film. And I just feel like, we don't have the offensive line either. Everyone's like, we got to trade Leonard Fournette because he sucks. He hasn't been effective. Well, he's had a pretty crappy offensive line, right? I mean, we haven't had a great offensive line. Cam Robinson, I feel like, has not been playing very well. He was pretty penalty prone last season. He gave up 8 sacks. He gave up as many sacks as Jawan Taylor did. And Jawan Taylor was a rookie, and Cam Robinson has been there, 2-3 years? So, I mean, I think we definitely need to go to the draft and draft a left tackle because I don't think Cam Robinson's going to be the guy, unfortunately. I think he's okay. I think he's, probably an above average left tackle, but we got to get guys in there like Mekhi Becton that is going to be able to get us, some, open up some holes for Leonard Fournette or for whatever running back we decide to go with. But, this isn't all on Leonard Fournette. And people keep saying that. You're like, oh, he's just, he can't get it done. I mean, the guy had his best season last year, I mean, he had put up some pretty good numbers. When I look at it, I mean, he had 265 carries, 1,152 yards rushing, 4.3 yards per carry, which is pretty good yards, per carry. And then he had 76 receptions and 522 yards. I mean, he caught a bunch of passes. Why? Because John DeFilippo likes to throw the ball. He doesn't like to run the ball. But I think he's a very versatile back. I think Leonard Fournette, proved that he could be a versatile back. And now we get rid of John DeFilippo, and then now we get Jay Gruden, and now we want to get rid of Leonard Fournette. That makes no sense. Yeah, we owe him $4 million next year, but so what? We have the cap space. We could pay it. We have guys like Marquise Lee. We have guys like Andrew Norwell. I mean, why do we have Andrew Norwell right now? It makes no sense to me. The guy's getting blown off the ball into the backfield. Gardner Minshew's getting sacked. Why are we not trading him? Why are we not freeing up any cap space, by trading Norwell or Marquise Lee? I just don't understand what's going on there. I know Leonard Fournette has been pretty vocal, in social media recently about the whole Cam Newton thing and how he was advocating for, Cam Newton and bringing Cam Newton in. And people are like, oh, that's the cause of why, the Jags are putting Leonard Fournette on the market. I don't think so. I think that couldn't be farther from the truth, honestly. Because you know what? Jawan Taylor went on social media like a week or so ago and was advocating for CJ Henderson, that we should draft him. So how is that any different than Leonard Fournette saying we should bring in Cam Newton? I mean, there's no difference. That makes no sense to me. And it happens all the time. NFL players always talk about, guys or friends that they want on their team or that they can, have a good relationship or think that would bring a lot to their team. So I don't think that's really the issue. I think there's something going on internally, with this organization. I think they're getting rid of a lot of the 2017 crew that brought us to the AFC Championship game. But I think this move is wrong. I think it's just wrong. Leonard is the anchor, I feel like, for this offense. He's one of the few veterans that we have left on the team. And, I do not think Gardner Minshew is that type of quarterback where he could, have the game on his shoulders and win it for us. I mean, he can run, he's mobile. But here, I'll say this about Gardner Minshew, there were plays that I watched in the film, recaps of games where Minshew was rolling out of the pocket and scrambling, and Fournette is there wide open in the flats, and he took a chance farther down the field instead of, throwing to Fournette. I saw a lot of that. And if you go back to the film and you watch these games, you'll see it. You'll see Fournette out in the flats like wide open. And he could have thrown to him, but he didn't. He chose to go for the riskier play. And maybe that is where some of, Fournette's, complaints are. Maybe he's unhappy that he's not getting the ball. Maybe it's his relationship with Doug Marrone. Fournette, I'm not going to say Fournette wasn't in the wrong with any of, his past kind of situations. He got into a fight. I believe it was during the 2018 season, the Buffalo game. He got thrown out. But he really cleaned up his act coming into the 2019 season. He had a great season. He played 15 games. It was most games he played with his, during his career with the Jacksonville Jaguars. In 2017, I believe he played 13 games. And then, 2018, I think he only played like 9 games. And then, in 2019, he played 15 games. So, again, this was a one of the best seasons for him. So, I don't think it's all Leonard's fault, but I think he's just kind of tired of the antics, right? I mean, this organization is a show. I mean, with the whole NFLPA situation, the complaints that were filed, by players, I think it's just really turned into a mess. And now, we're putting one of our best running backs and one of our veterans that is essentially the anchor for this Jacksonville offense on the trade block, and I don't agree with it. I think just let the guy play out his contract. I don't think $4 million is that much. I think we can afford it, and I think we can clear up cap space if we need that money. We can find the money. Bottom line, I think we can do it. I think the Jags have the money. There's something going on. There always is with this organization. I think honestly, like this report by Adam Schefter, there's not a lot going on right now in the sports arena. So, who knows, how much of this is backed up or not. Who knows? We've seen kind of rumors like this fly around. So, let me know how you feel about this situation. It's unfortunate. I hate to see Leonard Fournette go. It's really exciting to watch him play and watch him run. And he had some great games last season, but, who knows what will happen. Let me know how you feel about this situation. Leave a comment on the YouTube video or podcast episode. If you enjoyed this content, give me a like. Subscribe to the channel. Come by Apple Podcast. Again, this is a podcast. Leave me some feedback or a review. It always helps me when I put together these episodes. Stay safe, stay away from the coronavirus. Go Jags, and I'll see you next time.
Let me get that. JYD coming up with the big sack. Quarterbacks beware, we on the prowl. Game day night, you could hear it in our growl. Intimidation on to keep their hearts racing. Eating other teams live on TV front of the nation. Spectacular defensive scheme.
This episode is available on the Jaguar Podcast YouTube channel. So if you stop by, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. Also, these episodes are available on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and other major podcast distributors as well. So if you don't mind, please leave me a review and some feedback. I'd really appreciate that. If you'd like to connect with me on social media, my Twitter handle is @JagWarPodcast. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. This is Andrew signing off. Cheers.